Witness one here. Let me tell you guys about the cops. The cops, they ain't your friends. The cops, if this was in the time of Jesus' time, are the Romans. You understand? The guys that are policing you and all this, they want you dead. You understand? Do not trust them. They police you everywhere you go if you're getting gang stalked. Everywhere you go. And the reason why is because they want to kill you. You understand? They want you to break. They want you, the very minimum, they want to get you in the system and deem you crazy. But they're not your friends. Everywhere I go, I get them. I was staying in a place about 45 minutes from where I am at now. This spring, I had some videos you could see. I was down there, around Wallace, Idaho. And I was sitting in this spot that I stayed there like 2 summers. Last summer I stayed there, it was bad, dude. I had hardly any food, couldn't get no work. Just the witchcraft and everything they had me really locked down there. I mean, and then I finally earned enough money and I got the hell out of there for the winter. Because you do not want to get caught up in the north being gang stalked in the winter. That is not a place you want to be. And I was sitting there, check it out. And something said the cops are coming to me. I'm like, huh. So I was going to get out of there because normally when I get that, something tells me that I get that feeling. It's God, the Holy Spirit, And sure enough, I was just like, I'm going to wait it out and see what happens. About 2 hours later, it's getting around dark time. I start blacking out my windows. I'm sitting in my car here and knock on my window. I get out and it's just really good looking police officer woman, right? Like super hot, right? And she's like, yeah, well, she acted like she knew me. Every time I get with these cops or have an interaction with them, they act like, they're my best. That's how well known I am. They act like they completely know me. Dennis, now what's going on? Blah, blah. That's how these guys act towards me. And believe me, I don't have just a few cop interactions. Before I left my family's property, I wasn't a very nice guy. I got tired of all these people rolling up on me, so I started taking some frustration out on a lot of them locally in there. I got a pretty good reputation. Even it precedes me if I show up in the area. Everybody is alerted on there and they're jumping. Let me tell you, I made people jump because I'd beat up all these people. Lord, help me. I mean, that was me in my past. But what it was I didn't realize I was getting gang stalked and I get sick of it. And I would find out what my legal rights were, and I would always do it in a manner where I was get away with it. I always know what your rights are. You know what I'm saying? And these cops, I've been probably in the last 6 months, I've had at least 6 gun just being out here gang stalked in my car, at least 6 gun interactions where somebody pulled a gun or threatened me with a gun. Or recently this summer was up here with a guy with an AK-47. You can look back on my video and see a gang stalker with an AK. And he did come up there with an AK with intentions on doing something, but he didn't realize it. In the video, I told you there's a story about how I ran off the road up here in my car and he pulled me out later. But the fact of the matter is I knew they were coming, and I was waiting in the bushes beside the road, and they stopped right by me, and I had I was ready. Let me just point it that way. And he later pulled me out and then told me he had an AK and he was going to shoot my car up, but he thought I was inside of it. But the fact of the matter is I was in the bushes right beside him and his brother. I had them both. And so the fact of the matter is I've been in trouble in and out. I had the SWAT team on me at one time and I got away with it. I beat up 3 guys that were trying to beating on the back of me and my girlfriend's house when I got home from work. I didn't realize it, but she was probably a honeypot And it was a setup from the cops with them guys, because after the SWAT team had surrounded the house and did everything that they did, I got away with it. Went right back into the house, right? And them guys were beat up, and they didn't do nothing with them. They were drunk and all this stuff. And now that I think about all these interactions I had with the cops, nobody ever got in any kind of trouble, including me, with all the times that I'd had these brush-ins with the cops before I realized I was gangster. I knew something was going on, and they were after me, and I just thought they were after me because of this past that I had of getting away with things, because I used to be a bad guy that got away with a lot of things, and they were always trying to get me, and I always knew when to stop doing what I was doing, and when to stop and when to go. And so I've had many interactions with cops, including down in Texas, which is the Mason capital of the United States is Texas. And I had many interactions with them down there. They were always trying to get me, but they never did. What I'm trying to tell you, they want to kill you. So you guys need to, when they're policing you, not get so nervous, because that's all they're doing is policing you. And if you're a chosen one of God, you know, they can't really do much to you. Now, if you act out, they can get you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a test. It's like the time Jesus was preaching in one of the synagogues, and they wanted to kill him. So they took him out to a cliff to throw him off the cliff, right? But he walked through amongst them. They got him to the cliff, but they couldn't do it. And he just walked out through it all. And I'll tell you a story that happened to me last summer. I met a gang stalker, and he ripped me off. But he was supposed to get me money after I did a job for him, right? And he tried to run away, but he got a flat tire or ran out of gas on the side of the road. So I was going to give him a ride to an ATM. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning because we worked late. But I had to go a super long ways because we were out in the middle of nowhere, Idaho, to get to an ATM. And then, you know, what got me was he started talking in these no service areas in between us getting to the town to the ATM. Well, he had a phone. It was a satellite phone, right? And then he started talking about he wasn't going to pay me what we agreed upon, all this. And I pulled off the road, and I told him, well, I'm going to take care of his ass, you know. So I was driving up this road. This is a true story, with a gang stalker in my car after he was going to rip me off. And I was going about 70 miles an hour up this road off the interstate. And he literally jumped out of the car at 70 miles an hour. And I was just dumbfounded, you know, because he leapt out of my car. I could hear him skipping before my car door slammed shut. And so I'm like, holy cow, I better get out here. So I kept going down that road thinking there was an exit out, right? And it went 13 miles down there. It was real windy and real slow, 25, 35 mile an hour tops, you know. And I got to the end, and I had no service, and it was a dead end. So I knew I had to turn around and come back the same way that where he jumped off of, right at the interstate. And I knew there was going to be a roadblock there. And when I got out there, sure enough, there was 2 cop cars in a roadblock right there. And you know what? I drove right past it, got on the interstate, and got the hell out of Idaho and went into Montana. Like I said, there's some things they can do, some things they can't do. I don't know how I got away with that, but I did. So I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying, for any of you getting gang stalking and want some justice, there's you some justice right there. You know, it can be happen. It can happen. And before I knew it was happening, man, I tell you what, I was beating up gang stalkers left and right. A lot of them, you know. And what sucked was when last summer I was dropped by to see my cousin. And he didn't treat me very well. He was like a brother to me growing up. I brought him Jesus. But when the thing started getting thick and he said everybody turned against him, he turned back to what he was doing for. But all he had was these stories about how I beat all these people up. You know what I'm saying? They were all still living on those stories and scared. They all wanted me dead. Praise God I had God, because every time they say, how'd you get away with that, Dennis? I said, the Lord. The Lord be taking care of me, because I knew it was way back then. But those cops, let me tell you, those cops, they are policing you. They are following you everywhere, and they are not your friends. So if you guys are doing anything or got any secret sins, chances are Satan and all them guys know about it. So you got to be smart about the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Got to be real smart. They are policing. It's like the other day I came in to town, but they had this Huckleberry Festival going on. I had to go to Walmart, and I had to go amongst them all. I had the utility guys, the time before that. I flipped them all off. They chased me down with utility trucks in the parking lots. I was doing like figure eights in the parking lot. I mess with these guys sometimes because I can. It just makes them even more mad, but what do I care? You know what I'm saying? But when I got back in this area where I'm at now, where I can get some peace and quiet, there was a highway patrol way off the interstate, up almost to the dirt road areas here, just hanging out looking at me. You know, it's all about intimidation and control, and to show me that they know where I'm at. Like I don't know that they know already, because they sent all these planes, and they send at least one gang stalker up every day up here to let me know that they know that I'm here. They don't like it because they can't harass me all the time. But the fact of the matter is they're not your friends. Every time you see a police shooting, it'll be, I seen one in Lexington, Kentucky. A man shot a police officer, then he ran inside the church and shot 2 people at the church. So I'm exposing the shootings on this video with the cops. They're orchestrating this stuff. They're the ones getting killed, and then they play the victim. Oh, we were just protecting, sir. They're not your friends. Every one of them I meet that acts like they know me and all that, they act so nice, but they're not nice guys. Let me tell you. I know. I used to go to church with a bunch of them for like 2 years. They are not your friends. They weren't happy when I got wheels because I was on foot back then. I was on foot 3.5 years homeless. Yep. Had some of the most horrible things happening to me with just being, you know, without any wheels or any way to travel and all that. And they're not your friends. They're setting you up. They were all inside the church. They're Masons. 95% of the cops are Masons. And it doesn't matter if there's just one good cop in there. He's still part of them. He's still going to protect them, and he's still going to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? So just letting you know, they are Masons. They're devils. They're gang stalkers, and they want you dead. Now that I can look back on it, this stuff has been happening to me since I was a young kid from birth. And some of you are happening to. So you need to open up your eyes and realize that they're not your friends. You know, the cops are another one you always got to be watching. And it depends on what level you're at. This thing has levels to it too. You know, you'll get to the level of they'll follow you everywhere. I went from Montana to Texas. They policed me with the ambulances and the fire trucks waiting for me on the sides of the roads in Texas, all the way down there to see my dad in a nursing home. When I left there, they followed me all the way from the middle of Texas to East Texas. Then I went back to Montana. They followed me. I came back down to Texas. Again, they followed me the whole length of the ways. You get what I'm saying? So once you hit different levels, your stalking's going to go to different levels. And you got to be real careful what you take and what you do. You know, even your work and your jobs. There'll be times that they're literally going to set you up to kill you. You know, I can look back and see a few examples of that. One time when I first, when it really went hard at me, when I told them I knew everything, I had 2 pro killers on me. And I went into a church seeking sanctuary from the pastor. And he was so scared of the story I just told him. He prayed for me and he escorted me at the door. I said, they're outside in that parking lot waiting on me right now. And I went outside and he escorted me to the door and he locked the door behind me. You understand? Now, guys need to realize that you're not there. If you're trying to seek sanctuary, the only sanctuary you're going to get is in the Lord. Because none of these people, all of them, are scared to death of the government and everything. Because what they'll tell them guys is if they don't go along with it, if you don't want to go along with this plan, this is what we're going to do this to you. Understand? So they did it to my boss. He kept getting his truck damaged. I worked for this guy in Missoula. I was making real good money. And he was a tough old bird, let me tell you. And every time he'd go into town and leave his truck, there would be damage on his truck. Somebody would damage it. A utilities truck. He would tell me. And I realized that he wasn't going along with what they were wanting to do. Because I could tell by the things he told me, he would never openly say that they were approaching him or whatever. But I could tell by the way things were going that he was tired of it and he was trying to help me out. And he did. I did really good for a year, and I got a means to get away from there. And by his help, don't get me wrong, he was a devil, but he was also kind of, in a way, compassionate to me and paid me extremely, extremely well. And because he didn't want to go along with what they was doing. After he went along, he tried to draw back from going along. He was part of them, you know, but he kind of respected me. So, you know, I was able to do something and get out of there. But the fact of the matter is you'll have people that come in your life that might help you, but I mean, you're going to have to get every single bit that you can, and you need to save your money. You need to save your money because it's too hard to come by for a TEI. Don't feel compassionate. You know, I noticed a lot of these homeless people and all this stuff. They were setups from them. I used to give to the homeless and all this stuff, my last. I didn't realize it the whole time until recently, till about last 3 years. That, you know, don't get me wrong, I give to the homeless here and there, but recently I haven't been giving them to them because I know they're plants and setups from the cops from these experiences that I had. And so they're trying to tap you for if they can get $5 or whatever. They know you're a real Christian and you're compassionate. But don't be giving them away, a lot of them, your money away. And don't feel bad when you don't. You feel me? If you want to do something for somebody, get them something to eat. Most of the time, they don't even want that. You know what I'm saying? So they just want money. And a lot of the times, they'll get your money and do spell work on it. So be careful with giving dollars away, because then they'll do spell work on you. I had that happen with a homeless guy. I gave to him, and the next thing you know, I'm going through financial difficulties where I wasn't before. So just be careful. And there's some good advice for this video. I've been having a lot of problems getting videos out. I had to go 5 in and out of services to 5 different cell towers to get that last video. And that's why I'm not pumping them out as much, because I can't. They are not letting me. So keep your chins up and trust in the Lord. Put Jesus first. Bye.